The Golden State Warriors beat the Houston Rockets 95-85 in what can only be described as a slugfest to take a 1-0 series lead over a young Houston Rockets team that is so physical and so tough. And this series is going to be just amazing and so much fun to watch because it is going to be so physical and so intense that this is the kind of series that if it goes 6 or 7 games and there's like a quick turnaround and you play that next, you play game 1 of that next series pretty quickly after, this is the kind of series that causes you to lose game 1. Like, that's how physical and tolling it's going to be on the body. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Both teams just fighting it out on the glass, trying to grab rebounds, fouling each other a bunch. We got a nice little Draymond Green, Alperen Sengun altercation there at the free throw line, and just amazing. And the whole series is going to be like this. And the Rockets, let's start with them. 22 offensive rebounds. When you do that, you should win. When you get 22 extra possessions, you should win every single time. The issue is they only shot 39% from the floor. See, that's the thing. When you have 22 offensive rebounds, it's usually because you're not making shots. It's problematic because the ultimate goal is to make shots. The Rockets missed 53 field goal attempts. They were 6 of 29 from 3, and they were 11 of 20 from the free throw line. You can grab as many offensive rebounds as you want. You can create as many extra possessions for yourself as you want. Doesn't matter if you don't make shots. They scored 85 points. That's pitiful in today's era of basketball. That is a season low for them on the year. Can't have that in the playoffs. You can't. And the Rockets, they can run that 2 big lineup for the rest of the series. They can run Steven Adams and Alperen Sengun out there as much as they want to. And they're going to continue to do it because I think that Ime Udoka and the rest of that staff knows that their best chance to beat the Warriors is to beat them up on the glass like they did tonight. They probably won't shoot 6 of 29 from 3 again. Like, they'll shoot it better than that. So, like, they know that their path to victory is to beat them up on the glass. And they did that tonight. They just have to shoot it a little bit better, but you can beat them up on the glass as much as you want to. It doesn't matter if you don't make shots. The Rockets took 11 more shots than the Golden State Warriors, and they made less. That can't happen. You can't allow that to happen. And look, this series isn't over by any stretch of the imagination because the Houston Rockets are going to defend the Warriors well. I mean, look, they only gave up 95 points tonight. Steph Curry had a pretty ridiculous game. Jimmy Butler wasn't great. He didn't get to the free throw line as much as he normally does. But as I said, the Rockets are a good defensive team. And as physical and active as they are, they really don't foul that much. So this may be a series where Jimmy Butler struggles to get to the line. But with defense, like the type that the Rockets play, where you're only giving up 95 points, like, you're going to have a great chance to win every game. But the difference in this series, I think, was firmly on display tonight. When the offenses look bad, it's clear why the Warriors' offense looks bad. Whereas the Rockets, it is unclear as to why their offense looks bad. It's like for the Warriors, they had some stretches throughout this game where they really struggled to score. And it was clearly because the Rockets are an excellent defensive team. They'd make them, reverse the ball like 2 or 3 times, and they'd look up, and there's like, oh, man, there's only like 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Now I've got to take a tough shot. And then there would be a miss, or someone would be open, and Tari Eason or Amen Thompson or Dylan Brooks or fill in the blank with great athlete that plays wing for the Rockets here would be, bearing down on them, and you could tell that like they rushed the shot a little bit, and it led to a miss. Very clear why the Warriors offense struggled in the moments that it did. But then again, when you have Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler to bail you out late in the shot clock, your lulls also aren't as long. And for the Rockets, when their offense looked bad for stretches, I couldn't tell you why. Is it because the Golden State Warriors are an elite defense, number 1 in defensive rating since they made that trade for Jimmy Butler? Like, are the Warriors just playing really good defense right now? Or do the Rockets just not have the dudes to create good offense in the playoffs? Like, I couldn't answer that question. It's probably a combination of both. But when you don't know why your offense is struggling, like it then becomes much tougher to fix the problem. And because I know the answer for the Warriors and why their offense is going to struggle a little bit, like I feel better about picking them, and I feel better about them getting out of these offensive lulls. Whereas the Rockets doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way in the slightest. And when you look at the numbers for the Rockets offense tonight, like you see it, 22 of their 85 points came off of second chances. Okay, like came off of an offensive rebound. 23 of their 85 points were generated off of Golden State Warriors turnovers. When 45 of your 85 points come off of the other team's mistakes and you grabbing offensive rebounds, means your offense wasn't very good. It means they only scored like 40 points in the half court. That is not going to work. They have to find a way to be more efficient in the half court, even if that's just converting on more of these offensive rebounds. Like the number of possessions where they'd have like 3 or 4 and still not score can't happen. Bars, by the way. So the Rockets have to find a little more consistency with their half court offense. I think they should play through Sengun, because Draymond Green is too small to guard that guy. Quentin Post is doing his best out there, but he can't guard him either. He is clearly their best matchup to get good offense, even if it's just him going one-on-one. Okay, so I think we're going to see a lot more Sengun touches, even though we saw a bunch in this game. But I think it's going to be a major point of emphasis for the Rockets going forward to make sure that guy touches the ball. He had 26 points. No one else had more than 11. He had 16 at half. No one else had more than 5. Like, he was the only guy who could get to his spots and get shots that you at least felt okay with. And then, if he missed, he was right there to grab an offensive rebound. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of him from the Rockets. Feel great about my pick for the Warriors, because the difference in the series is going to be the shot making of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler wasn't great tonight. He was still good. Don't get me wrong. He made several big plays down the stretch especially late. He isolated Sengun, and he got to a nice little mid-range pull-up. He hit it, put him up by 9. And at that point, the game felt like it was over. And then later, he has the breakaway dunk that really kind of closed the game out. But then you have Steph, who hits a sidestep 3 falling out of bounds with about 6 minutes and 52 seconds left in that third quarter. And it's just like, that's ridiculous. That's 3 points that the Rockets aren't going to be able to match in terms of just an absolute bailout shot with the shot clock running down. And then later in the game, fourth quarter, a little over 5 minutes left, the Rockets are in the middle of that awesome run, which was entirely based off of offensive rebounds and the Warriors turning the ball over. And they cut it down to 4. And I'm on my couch and I'm watching. I'm like, how is Steph or Jimmy Butler going to find a way to kind of get involved here? Because they've done a really good job of bottling those guys up. Because once again, this Rockets defense is really good. Steph Curry's like, I'm gonna start in the backcourt, because the Warriors had a sideline out of bounds play. And he's like, I'm gonna sprint as fast as I can, and I'm gonna catch the ball 35 feet away from the basket. No hesitation. I'm gonna shoot it. And it's going to be nothing but net. It's going to be insane. And it was insane. And a 4-point lead went right back up to 7. And all of a sudden, you felt really good about the Warriors again. Like, the Rockets don't have that. Then again, like, in terms of the shooting ability, obviously no one has that. But like, the Lakers have Luka or LeBron to go get you a bucket when things aren't going very well. The Timberwolves have Anthony Edwards. The rest of the contenders, like, they just work through all of them. Like, they all have an answer to that question of who is your bailout guy. The Rockets don't have that. And that's going to be the difference in the series, even though this Rockets team is so much fun to watch. And this series is going to be an absolute blast and an absolute war for, 5, 6, or 7 games. And yes, I said 5 because it's one of these things where maybe every game is close, but Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler just close games out, while, Sengun and Fred VanVleet and, Jalen Green, who wasn't very good tonight, don't. Like, this could be a series where, like, the Warriors win in 5, but every game is just an absolute battle. And you look back and you're like that game, like, that series only went 5 games, but man, it felt like a 7-game series because of how close every game was. So, with that being said, I don't think it's going to go 5. I like the Warriors in 6. I think the Rockets win game 2, but we got a few nights until that happens. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe. We got game 1 reactions for every game 1. You boys over here grinding. So do me a favor, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll talk to you tomorrow after Pistons, Knicks, and after Nuggets, Clippers, both of those being game 2s. I'll talk to you tomorrow.